Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Technically Something, the show where we talk about technology, creativity, tutorials, and gaming. I'm your host, Kevin Allen, and this is going to be a two-part video where I talk about creating your very first logo for yourself. In the past, I have had creating your first logo and sort of took a different approach with it. I decided to delete that video. I'm going to remake that in some ways by defining what makes a good logo. So that's more about the theory of making a logo. But for this one, what I wanted to do is basically show you my process in terms of starting from sketches to making a refined sketch all the way to making a vector version on the computer. Now, what I'm going to do for this first video is just show you how I sketch out the ideas and some of the approaches on how to handle that idea and brainstorming process. After that, I'll make a quick refined sketch, and then where this is going to divide in half is I'm going to make two videos that are going to be more or less identical, but one will be for vectoring the logo in Illustrator, and the other is going to be for vectoring the logo in Inkscape, which is basically like Illustrator's free cousin. But enough with the intro stuff, let's go ahead and get to work. All right, so the first thing that we're going to start with is making some thumbnails. Now, thumbnails are supposed to be very rapid. You should only be spending a few minutes on them each. This is just to sort of get some ideas flowing. So there's no such thing as a bad idea when you're on the thumbnail stage. So just go ahead and scratch down everything that comes to mind. What I'm going to create a logo for is just the name graphic design. So immediately the first thought that comes to my mind is a G that I kind of want to flow in a circle. And maybe I could put a D coming off the edge here. And immediately, I kind of like this flow, like I'm observing how I like the movement that this shows. So maybe I can play with that. So this is my first idea. Let's do the second idea. So this time, I'm gonna try working with that movement a little bit more. Now I got something like this, and I could have the G come in, stop here, have this move down to kind of continue it. Still not sure if I like that, so let's try another version, 3. Have that flow, and maybe what I can do is have the D coming from the side here and have this come up. I kind of like that. I think that's a really simple word mark or kind of a simple text logo. All right, so I feel like this is kind of a done deal in terms of that path of ideas of development. So what I'm going to do is just put a star next to this saying like, yeah, I dig this. This is a good one for me. And I'll keep that back there. So now maybe I'll try something a little bit more pictorial. So do number 4. So when I think graphic design, a lot of the times I'm using the pen tool or the Bezier tool. So maybe what I do is just utilize that symbol and have it go over here. Show a path, so maybe I could have it curving behind, back, with little points coming off of it. This logo is pretty busy compared to what I normally make, but that's the thing, I'm just exploring ideas right now. So that's just one idea. And I'm not sure how I could make this more streamlined or more compact, but maybe I could fit the pen tool in at a different angle. So let's try that for our fifth one. And remember, as you draw thumbnails, they don't have to be perfect. This is just a idea generator. Think of it that way. Okay, so we have our point, and maybe it curves with the angle of the pen and then comes up here. I like that a lot more already. If this were solid, I like that quite a bit. I really like this one, but now I'm curious what it would look like if I added a circle instead. So maybe the Bezier tool is drawing a circle around it with the points coming off. And again, it just kind of, for me, this falls under the busy region, but maybe what I could do to tie it together is put a box around it so it's kind of like a diamond with a thick stroke. Still not crazy about it, but it's not terrible. Okay, so I think out of these three, I like this one the best. Now at this point, generally, just to kind of clean up my brain, I'll make a seventh idea where I combine both. So I really like these two. So both of them together would look something like this. GD. Where I have a pen that's kind of drawing the shape, and maybe a circle. And I realized that I didn't take the one that I starred, and I took some of the elements from this, but things change a bit when you're trying to combine them. That's what happens. That's why it's kind of a fun way to explore how different things could come together. So anyway, so this kind of turns into a hybrid of this and really kind of all three elements from these three with the pen tool. And I mean, it's not bad. I'm not crazy about it, so I'll just give this a sort of a meh face. All right, so finally we're closing in. We have 8, 9, and 10, and again, this is where it generally starts to drag for people who are like, I already have a good idea of what I want to do, but still add in just a few more. Now what I like to do is get really abstract by the end. I want to make my last three be super weird. Okay, so for this one I might just do something that is literally that. And this is more the abstract idea of graphic design, how you have a start point, a lot of crazy stuff in the middle of trying to figure it out, and then at the very end, your idea or your finished product. And then automatically, I have a new idea from that. So maybe what I do is have this circle around it. And again, I'm going for some abstract iconography style stuff here, where it's more about shapes and lines. So here I have like a weird symbol, but it's kind of like a light bulb for an idea. And last but not least, number 10. I kind of see graphic design as a visual communication, so maybe what I can do is express the idea of communicating through a loud megaphone. Let's get this little piece here. And on the inside, maybe what I have is an eyeball, just to really make this terrifying. Now, am I necessarily going to use any of these logos? Probably not. But still, it's good to explore any ideas. And some people might think, okay, maybe you start with what I did for 8, 9, and 10. Like, start with your weird, wacky ideas, and then start to refine it, then get down to more of the businessy side of it. And whatever makes sense to you is what you should do. As long as you explore the idea thoroughly and think of a logo that you would like to add in. And I think of all of these, I kind of want to do, I do think I'm going to end up doing 7. So no more meh face. Now we have a happy face. So I will go ahead and move on to the vector portion. Make sure that you follow and subscribe. So now I'm going to go ahead and start. And I'm going to go ahead and speed this part up for you, just so you can see the drawing. So now I have a refined sketch. I have a clear idea of what I want to make into a vectored version of this. So this is the end of this video, but make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to Technically Something, and we are going to move on to the next phase, which is vectorization. And I will have 2 videos. One will be doing this with Illustrator, the other will be doing this with Inkscape, depending on what software you prefer to use. As always, take it easy, stay safe, stay positive, and I'll see you soon.